What's up, guys? Dan Marvash here for All Systems Golf. A lot of talk, obviously, this week about Tiger Woods. Just want to give you guys a quick 1 minute or less breakdown on what I'm seeing in his golf swing. We know he's had multiple surgeries on his left knee, and then obviously that right leg, fibula, and right ankle all received a lot of impact and damage in the car accident just over a year ago. So what we would typically see from a player like that is they lose ankle mobility, specifically in the trail ankle. It becomes more difficult to turn the hips. Tiger does a pretty good job here, in my opinion, of turning his hips. Maybe not quite as deep as he normally would or has in previous years, likely because of that right ankle mobility. But going back, this is looking really, really good. You can see everything kind of turning together, sort of that one-piece takeaway. So the shoulders pull the hips, his hands stay in, the club is out in front of him at this particular point. And then what we're going to see is that as the club gets to the top, it starts to get just a little bit sort of down the line. You can see the club face is actually slightly open at this particular point. And the reason for that, in my opinion, is that it helps match up what he's going to do on the downswing. So Tiger's always had a lot of vertical motion to start his downswing. So you see the lowering of the head. And then what you're going to see is kind of a stalling of the rotation early. So he's kind of pushing forward from his inside of his right heel into his instep of his left heel. So as he does that, the shaft will get a little bit on the steep side, and he'll start to kind of pull down his arms out in front of him. One thing that's definitely different in Tiger of years past is as he comes through the ball and begins to turn, look at how his shoulders and his hips kind of move simultaneously. Tiger famously, from the time I remember seeing him when he first came out, had his hips way out in front of his shoulder turn. So people would talk about him getting stuck under as a result of that, but that's a different conversation. So you see now, as he starts kind of moving into the ball, his hips and his chest kind of turn roughly at the same rate. Now, a lot of that is due to the fusion that he has in his lower spine. So that creates just sort of the necessity for the hips and the chest to clear at roughly the same time. And of course, he's doing that from this particular point into the golf ball. The last thing that I see in Tiger that has been maybe different over years past is a lot more level follow through and sort of coming out of that posture as soon as the golf ball is gone. And of course, that's evident by looking at his backside line, and you see how he comes off of that with his rear. So as he's extending up out of this shot, he's going to immediately remove tension from this right side here, and that's going to take pressure off of his fused spine. So overall, you look at all the speed numbers, speed's down a little bit, but still at a very, very high level, certainly capable if he has any semblance of a short game, which I believe that will surprise a lot of people, given that the most practice that he's been able to do has been in the short game putting, chipping area. So if he has that putter going, if he can take advantage of keeping it in play on the par fives, I mean, you can't doubt this guy whatsoever. So it'll be a lot of fun to watch, and we're definitely rooting for him.